Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nurliana Atirah binti Izani, a leader of Group 4 RAS 120-5G, along with my team members Nidno Atikah binti Nikman and Muhammad Alif Haikal bin Nasir for the mini project assessment of physics, instrumentation and application. And today, we will present to you our chosen topic for this project that has been on research by three of us, titled Fruit as Natural Electricity.
Abstract. Morning, madam. So, the idea of using fruits as a battery has been discovered in the past. The reading of voltage and the current from the fruits were proven by using multimeter. So, the purpose of this project is to determine which citrus and local fruits would produce the most electricity flow and how practical the fruits to be a natural source of energy. The citrus and local fruit should contain high acidity content to conduct electricity and capable to be one of the power source. The estimated outcome of this experiment is lemon and potato, which could produce the highest electrical current. Perhaps using an eco-friendly power source as a battery current might be convenient. And the experiment was set up by ionic circuit, which consists of copper penny, multimeter, LED, alligator clips, wires, galvanic nails, sandpapers, and the citrus and local fruit as the power source. Next is introduction. Electricity is a conversion from chemical energy into electrical energy, which is stored in the batteries. They would involve an electrochemical reaction to produce electricity. But in this experiment, we use traditional electrical conductor, which is ionic conductor, that can power up electricity through the free moving ion. And this ionic conductor, it's created from ionic circuit that consists of organic material like potato, for example. And also, in the view of the ZIL 2018, a lemon could generate electricity where it produces juice that contains electrolyte, which could supply electricity. It's allowed two different metals to react with each other since it could not produce electricity by itself. And besides, local fruits that have high acidic contents like apple can also produce electricity by using this method.
The basic of the electrochemical or wet cell. Batteries generate electricity through a chemical reaction between two different electrodes and one electrolyte. In the middle-19th century, Alessandro Volta's voltage heap was the primary wet cell battery that delivered power. The reality of material science to develop a voltage heap and found the principal viable strategy to produce electricity. Natural resources stimulate the economic growth. The experiment conducted by the early physicists have led to the emergence of electrical tools that we use today as an evolution. The increasing cost of fuel, which perpetuates more expensive electricity costs. That's why the researchers have never stopped pursuing an alternative way to produce electricity. The idea of using fruit as a battery has become out by a group from the University of Nottingham, Malaysia campus with a complex perspective and approach the fruit battery from various angles. They believe that fruit could active carbon as a supercapacitor. It gives many advantages to our country as an energy storage device that can deliver high amount of energy in a short time and charge much faster than deep discharge a battery. Fruit as a potential source of alternative electrical energy. The electricity is generated by the chemical reaction between electron and electrolyte. The high acidity of citrus fruit made them the best for the experiment. The acid in fruit presents as an electrolyte, while two different metals act as electrode. This method could explore how the fruit's acid reacts with those metal electrodes to produce an electric current. Whenever metal comes in direct contact with acid, the metal's atom will emit to the electron. The aqueous environment of the fruit mimics the conducting chemical of the battery, and electrons start flowing through the circuit. The function of light-emitting diode LED. Light-emitting diode LED indicates whether the probe generates an electric current. An LED semiconductor device that converts electricity into light where electrical current can only flow in one direction through the LED. The two positive and negative terminals are known as anode and cathode. The cathode should be connected to the negative zinc or galvanic nail, while the anode to the positive copper pin. This LED is functional for this experimental project as it would need low current and voltage.
Now it's turn for the methodology. Let's see the procedure on how to run the fruit battery experiment, which proves the fact that fruit are capable and practical to supply electricity. In this project, types of fruit need to be used to run the experiment that acts as electrolyte. For this case, lemon, potato, and green apple are chosen to be tested. First, prepare the fruit by squeezing all sides and rolling with the palm on the tabletop to twist them. Make sure not to compress too hard to avoid the breaks on the skin. Then, cut a small slit into the end using a knife. Then put 3/4 of copper penny into the fruit. And care should be taken when cutting the holes into the fruit using a knife to avoid cuts. The next step should be rub the end of a galvanized nail gently with a sandpaper and stick 1/2 inch into the other side of the fruit. The galvanized nail should be as close as possible to the copper penny but without touching or about 2 cm away. Then, take one light emitting diode LED. Connect the longer lead of the LED to the copper penny and the shorter lead to the galvanized nail using a pair of alligators. Observe whether the LED lights up or not at its brightness level. Record the observation in the datasheet. The next step is turn on a multimeter to measure the voltage by touching the red lead to either the copper penny or the galvanized nail and attach the black lead to the other terminal and record the reading display on the multimeter. For a more scientifically accurate investigation, repeat step 1 until 7 for another 2 trials with the same type of fruit. Once done, remove the galvanized nail and copper penny from the fruit and wipe off any excess juice. Lastly, repeat step 1 until 9 with another 2 types of fruit, which is in this case whether the lemon or potato or green apple. Then, calculate the average voltage produced for those fruits by adding the values from 3 independent results and divide the sum by 3 for each fruit. And these are the few things which are essential to be applied during the experiment for the precautionary measures, which is for safety. Do not eat the fruit after the experiment because some of the toxic metals may have dissolved into the fruit, and care should be taken when handling the knife, metal electrodes, LED, and alligator clip lids. As for the warning, do not run this experiment with children under 5 because they could choke on small materials such as the penny. And additionally, a tip for this experiment, use sandpaper to clean the nails and wire to improve conductivity. This is the result for the experiment. In this table, the calculated average voltage shown for the 3 types of fruit, which are the lemon, potato, and green apple, that scientifically obtained from the 3 trials of measurement for each fruit that were being measured by a multimeter as mentioned in the methods. Besides, an LED was used for each trial as a sign to observe and find out whether the fruit is capable to supply the power to light up a lamp or not. As shown, all those fruits are succeed to light up the LED but with different brightness level. In studies, power is increased linearly as the voltage increases. This means the higher voltage will produce a larger power or electricity. It has been proven through this experiment where the lemon, which has the highest voltage of 1.60 volt, could light up the LED with brightest level among all, while the other 2 of fruits, which are the potato that has the voltage reading of 1.31 volt, had light up the LED with mild brightness level or less bright than the lemon, and green apple, which has the lowest voltage reading of 1.07 volt, only light up the LED with dim level condition.
Discussion. The objective of this experiment is to generate batteries through the natural electricity of the fruit using the wet cell battery concept. According to the study, every fruit contains positively charged ions. When a zenel was poked into the fruit, the negatively charged ion started to move from the fruit to the zenel, thus leaving the protons in the fruit. Then, the moving electron will generate electricity, thus lighting up to the LED. Besides, the acidity in the fruit is the biggest determiner of electricity production that we could observe by their voltage reading, or the hypothesis mentioned that the more acidic a fruit is, the more electrical conductivity produced. Therefore, three types of fruit will measure their voltage using multimeter with three trials of measurement and calculate their average voltage with the help of LED to find out which fruit achieve the specific to create light. The table showed the voltage reading by a multimeter of three types of fruit. It had shown that the lemon has the highest voltage of 1.60 voltage, while the potato has that mid voltage reading of 1.31 voltage, and the green apple has the lowest voltage reading of 1.07 voltage. All the fruits success to light up the LED, but with different brightness. The lemon had turned on the LED with the brightest light. In the meantime, the potato's LED had turned on a little dim. Then the lemon and green apple only turned on the LED with the very dimly condition.
Conclusion. In conclusion, this experiment has analyzed and confirmed how fruit generates electricity according to the wet cell battery concept and also ionic circuit, where it has examined that acidity within fruits determines the amounts of produced electricity according to their voltage value. Also, it proved that fruits would be practical to produce electrical energy as a natural source, and the hypothesis of this experiment is accepted.
And these are the references list for our mini project assessment that includes the journals, videos and also the websites. That's all from us. Thank you.